Thanks for joining me for today's webinar. Look guys, I hate webinars that go on for hours, and in this webinar, it's all about saving you time. So let's keep this to under 7 minutes. So to make a quick introduction of myself, my name is Mitch Gibson. I started my marketing agency in 2011. Like most of us, I worked my ass off day and night to make it work on an absolute shoestring budget. $500 to be exact. The problem was, I soon became a prisoner in my own business. Sure, I could say I work for myself, but in reality, I was working 60 hours a week for a similar wage to when I had a job. My moment of change came 2 years later. My girlfriend, now my wife, and I flew interstate to watch a sporting match. The whole 3 days we were there, I worked. Not really because I wanted to, but because I felt if I didn't, I would fall that behind and lose my clients. She was pissed, and rightly so. That day, I learned a valuable lesson. My wife spells love T-I-M-E, and I'm sure she's not the only one. On the flight home, it was a great opportunity to reflect and strategize what I was going to do to fix the situation I was in. Instead of going back to the normal way of working, for the next 30 days, I wrote down every single thing I did in the day and how long it took me. After a month of documenting everything, I saw there were things that took me ages that I simply hated doing. I then decided to create a step-by-step guide for 2 tasks each month. I then hired a virtual assistant, had them take over those tasks, and I started to get my life back. So just to clarify, my goal was to reduce my weekly workload by 2 hours each month. So if I was working 60 hours, in 12 months, I would be working 36 hours, and in 24 months, I would be working 12 hours a week. And that's exactly what happened. Now, outsourcing tasks is one thing, but how do you pay for the extra staff? 2 things to consider here. 1, this is why I only outsource 2 additional tasks a month. It allowed me to slowly afford to bring on staff at a minimal risk. 2, I started focusing the time I was working to business development and sales. For me, selling in the B2B market, I quickly started growing my LinkedIn connections. At the time of this webinar, I have just under 20,000 connections on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn has become a gravy train for generating leads for my business. So what's the next step? The next step is to create your first trainable business system. I'm about to show you the process that I use to create trainable business systems and how you can do the same. First off, I've created what I call a business systems portal. Every person that registers for the Systems Exit course at systemsexit.com will get their own business systems portal with their own branding. So let's get to it. As you'll see on the screen, I've categorized the systems into separate categories. As a general rule, I like to have a category for each service that is offered, then a few general categories like billing, customer support, etc. Anyway, for this example, I'm going to use our Google AdWords management service as the example. The first thing I do when creating a set of systems is to create an onboarding process. An onboarding process basically outlines the steps from when a client signs up to the time the job has been complete. As you'll see here, this particular onboarding process includes 14 steps. Another thing you'll notice is that most steps are made up of 3 parts. The first part, the description of the step. The second part, who is responsible. And the third part, a link to a more detailed system. Let's focus on the responsibility for a second. Your ultimate goal is to have your name on as little, if any, of the steps involved. Now, when you first start, there's a good chance your name will be on all the steps. But at the end of the process, we want to rather outsource or automate as many steps as possible. I'm now going to click on the link to the system for step 5. You'll see that the systems are quite detailed. Essentially, these should be a dummy's guide to running your business. The upside of doing all this is that it will make you think how you exactly conduct each step. I can guarantee you'll end up improving your service, which is only ever good for business. So how can you get started? As I briefly mentioned earlier in the webinar, I'm offering an online course called Systems Exit. Systems Exit gives you absolutely everything you need to reduce your workload and become more profitable. Everyone that signs up to Systems Exit also gets their very own personalized business systems portal. The actual course is split into 4 core modules. Module 1 is all about learning how to create your own business systems, and we go into detail of how to use the business systems portal to achieve this. Module 2 is my step-by-step guide to outsourcing. I'll show you how to find, pitch, and hire the best affordable talent online. I've even included my recommended supplier list, which have been tried and tested. Module 3 is my step-by-step guide to lead automation. During this module, I'll show you how to dominate LinkedIn and create an automatic sales funnel. Module 4 is our planning module. It includes 3 worksheets, including my business owner activity tracker, which is the template to track how you spend your time. The second is my sales target worksheet, which will allow you to track your sales performance to ensure you reach your KPIs. And lastly, my 1-page business plan. To be honest, I've never been a fan of 50-page business plans that never get read. This business plan asks 6 core questions to help determine the success of your business. So what does it cost? The price of the cost, including the Business Systems portal, is $899 USD. This includes lifetime access and a full 30-day money-back guarantee. If you'd like to register, please visit systemsexit.com/register. Lastly, I'd like to thank everyone watching the webinar for their time, and I hope you got something valuable from today. If you have any questions, always feel free to send me an email at mitch@systemsexit.com. I'll see you on the other side.